Hello, good evening. It's Pathfinder
Hi,
time.
everyone.
Let's go.
We're back.
We're back after some scheduling conflicts. Cost us some time, but that's okay. Not a lot to cover from last time anyway. You guys took a trip over to the Jittery Quill, and you had a drink with the soon to be departing, although now he's gone. I've time skipped a few days to account for the activity and reopening of the shop that you guys took over. But yes, you had a drink with Grouse Soldado, sort of allowed him to, think about all the good times in Corvosa and, celebrate the victory of getting rid of Bloodvale from the city. During the revelry, there were several interesting occurrences related to certain members of the Hoard. Reef received a letter written by one of his old henchmen. The name was simply Drek, and that rung a bell, as Drek is one of the kobolds that used to run with Reef before the campaign started. But yeah, it was Drek just saying that he'd survived. Though others from the old crew were not so lucky, and that he would try to stay in touch or perhaps seek Reef out in the near future. This, of course, prompted Reef to buy the most expensive bottle of liquor in the house, which was a nice bottle of good old Blackberries brandy, which you all enjoyed very much. Additionally, Sarah, while drunk, thought she was seeing things. She spotted the mysterious elf who is always clad in black and gold. But this time he was with somebody, and the somebody was an Aasimar, who was, making no mistake about who he is and his appearance and attire. And you guys quickly determined that it was indeed Sin's brother, which caused some panic, naturally. And you all decided, once the coast was clear, you guys went to the back room and talked about it for a little bit, and then eventually went home for the night. And the next morning, Sarah had the idea of paying a visit to her sister, Kira, over at the academy, and to check on the psychotic killer that was left with Kira, Jolastina.
I regret nothing.
Yeah, what ensued was a rather brutal shouting match between the two sisters. A lot of
You've ever seen me and Rachel fight? That's basically what it was.
a lot of questioning over, who cares about who, and it did kind of go in circles. But the points that were being made was that it was irresponsible to drop a murderer in the midst of a bunch of professors, and namely right on the doorstep of a family member. Meanwhile,
Made sense at the time.
Meanwhile, Kira was called out for probably not being as present as she should have been during traumatic events that were occurring to other members of the family, most notably Sarah, like her fiance getting taken from her.
Brutally.
Yes, very, very brutally. So amid threats from Kira to do what you all failed to do, which was eliminate the problem rather than just passing it off to somebody else, eventually Sarah and the rest of you who did help a little bit got Kira to see reason and stop threatening to kill somebody. And she convinced you all to bring Jolastina to the authorities, where, according to Kira, you guys should have brought her in the first place. And then you guys agreed to go get coffee.
I'm sorry. Are you leaving out the whole, apparently now Reef has a date?
Yes. With who?
My sister, apparently.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That was part of it. That was part of the whole getting coffee thing, yes. So, I time skipped ahead, like I said, for the shop stuff. I skipped like 4 days. Um, I mean, probably fair to say that once all the negativity and argumentative points had been put out there in the academy itself, that the coffee experience was much more cordial and resembling that of civilized people. So it is now toil day. We are in the middle of Gazrin, which is the 4th month of the year. You guys are in Zellara's house as you've just woken up from rest. And the floor is yours. What do you guys want to do? Or talk about, or both?
I think you mean our house. It's ours now. You rule it.
But we don't have the deed.
And we don't need it.
I think we do.
Says who?
Says the government.
Fuck the government. Useless.
Man, I really
As I
wanted to say something, but I don't want to derail.
That's what I thought.
Work on it.
Zen is right once again. Our house.
Okay. We do have to be tactful about this.
No, we don't.
Reef stops himself from sticking his head out the window and trying to project his voice somewhere to a different corner, saying "fuck the queen," seeing if he can incite anything. He gets to the window and stops, and does not.
As funny as it is to say "fuck the queen," Reef, the queen gives us money.
Does she?
Okay.
Yeah, she literally
But-
gave us 5,000 gold
For what?
She did.
for helping her with her bullshit problem.
But do we actually think she had no clue? Or do we think that we just got paid off?
She
Oh, she 100%
absolutely
knew what the fuck was happening.
She knew what was happening. Remember,
Okay,
her guard
we're all on
was
the same
at the
page.
place.
We're all on the same page.
I'm
We all
just
got
saying
paid
that she's at the moment she's giving us money, so that's all I care.
So I guess
about.
what I'm saying is, are we going to keep accepting the payoffs, or are we going to do something about it?
Accept
Fucking los dos.
payoffs, accept payoffs, and then once we have no use for her, then we get rid of her.
Like I'm down for doing both. Money good. We can take her money while also plotting to take her down. These are not mutually exclusive concepts.
See, Sarah gets it. Dab me up.
Okay. You know what? I don't have an argument.
Like, look, she's paying us to help the city, which we're doing regardless. So
I just want to find my friend. I just want to make sure they're okay, and I want to make sure whatever we do doesn't cause them more harm than I already have.
Yeah.
Reef throws his hands up and looks over at both of you guys, and all of you guys actually, and says, "So for once, the king will not be making decisions. The king will defer to his cabinet." You see him struggling so hard. So I leave the choices in your hands. Wherever you guys want to go, we'll go. The horde goes together. I'm clutching really tightly onto my crown. Like, this means something still, right?
No, it doesn't.
Damn.
If we're going anywhere, unless we have somewhere to be, I would rather not.
All right. Well then, how are you gonna get more jobs? Because I doubt there's something that she's just gonna keep giving us 5 grand out of nowhere for. I feel like ridding the entire city of a massive plague is a good reason to give us that much gold. Although I don't know how we're gonna be able to milk that from her again.
Why don't we just go to the job board?
Well, the queen is absolutely going to try something new. Like, that's without question.
Theo, this is why you're chief strategist. Job board would make sense.
That's not my role, but I am now also chief strategist.
I said Theo, because Theo said the
Oh,
job
wow.
board.
Strategist,
Wait.
I said, why? Why? I'm still king in the terms of making roles. I just said decided who's gonna go where or what. Where
Sin
who
is
did. Say, I swear to God, don't make me consult my little list. I have
strategy.
documentation proving your roles in case I have to deal with the treating of the new queen. I mean, the old queen. I take her queendom.
Congratulations, Reef. In my notes, it is now says that Sin is chief strategist.
But chief strategist is Theo. I said Theo. You literally just ignored me saying Theo's name and took over. I don't recognize this authority. No.
I look at Theo and then I give a chuckle. I am the chief now.
I'm
I,
the captain now.
I've lost control of my ship.
Oh wait, I got you.
I mean, it makes you feel any better, Reef. You never really had any control over me anyway.
Okay, that's mean, but true.
No, see, he could be chief. He could be chief. I'll be captain.
Okay, well, Reef is like flicking through his notebooks, going all the way back to the beginning pages. But what? Theo is chief strategist.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
So I found out. Oh no, that's gonna derail. Never mind.
Sin, you're the witch doctor of drugs and the chief vision quest officer. I am the king of the kobolds and the chief of the Hoard. Sarah's the ambassador of the Hoard and the patience officer. And Nadia's the beacon of life, chief medical officer. Theo is the general and chief strategist.
Yes, I am the witch doctor. But I'm also the chief now.
No. There's.
Yes. I
Why?
have infinite power, Reef.
Why?
Why not?
But why do you want to be the chief?
No reason at all. I just find it funny.
You. Reef is having an existential crisis at this point in time, and then just going, you know what? I am going to go to the job board. You guys do what you please.
I'll go with you.
I follow the chief strategist, and he's coming with me. Got it. Let's go
Yes,
to the
chief
job
strategist,
board.
so I'll go too. All right.
As you are all approaching the door to leave, Sarah hears.
I see, chef. Oh, chief. Sorry, I can't read.
I hear nothing, Jon Snow.
Heroes of Corvosa,
Neither do
my
I.
dear friends. I feel the strings of fate tugging
Am I
once
supposed to
more.
hear something?
The cards are ready
You
to
don't
dance
hear that?
again. To remind
No.
and
Yeah, sometimes
reveal.
we can't hear their siren skateboard.
Wait. This
Yeah,
is
nothing's
no
coming through.
dance.
Maybe
Can you
disconnect.
imitate it for us in your DM voice?
They're not lighting up like everyone else is. Normally they light up.
Oh, it's lit
Normally I
up for
hear
me.
them.
Hold on.
Oh, let's disconnect them and reconnect them. See if that helps.
Be gone, bot.
And Roll20's got the music integration on its end, so we can figure something out.
Yeah, but Roll20 can't do what it's supposed to do.
I know.
That is true.
I'm just saying that we have options, and worst comes worst, we'll make the best
This
of it.
stream
Is that
is not
wrong?
sponsored by Roll20, but Roll20 if you'd like to sponsor us.
Well, we just
Fuck you, we
insulted
got
Roll20.
news for
Why would they want to? No. Roll20 was just insulted on this live stream. You think they're ever gonna want to sponsor us now?
It's
Yeah.
satire. It's fine.
I reset the bot.
And then-
Let's see if that works.
All right, hold on.
I
Resetting
apparently
bot.
hear something and I
hear-
can't hear it if everyone's talking.
Sorry.
Yeah, I hear it. It's quiet.
A
turn it off.
violin.
I hear it.
Okay.
Oh,
Why
I
does it always
absolutely
sound
hear it
like
now.
Should be a voice playing. Hold
Heroes of Corvosa, my dear friends. I feel the strings of fate tugging once more. The cards are ready to dance again. To remind and reveal. Wait. This is no dance. It is a play. I see the city as if it were but a prop upon a stage, entangled in chains under the shadow of a sinister crown, upturned as if to impale the land itself. Madmen and ghosts wail and caper upon the stage before an audience of demonic beasts, tigers and mantises and serpents, all gazing with hungry eyes. In the box seats are ashen-skinned women with blank faces, and behind them, something terrible. Something that I cannot yet see. Come, let us see what the cards have divined.
Are we doing a
Fuck.
harrow?
Yep, it's
Sarah's just gonna go, oh fuck.
it's harrowing
Hey
time.
Are we
guys,
rolling to see who goes first?
guys, it's time for another harrowing. The
God
ghost of
damn it.
Zellara has spoken.
Reef slams the shutters shut and then asks Vandilla to make sure no one's nearby the door.
Alright, ask Chief Strategist. I'm gonna start taking the notes about what she said.
Okay, so
You didn't hear her, so how can you take notes about what she said?
Don't worry about it.
Bro, you're not doing your job as chief strategist right.
I'm always doing my job right. Don't question the witch doctor, alright? Don't
Like,
worry
I
about
don't mind if you want to be chief strategist. You can have that role, but like, at least do the job right.
it. I always do the job right. Don't you're worrying about it too much.
Ugh, whatever.
sorry, just pulling out the cards I need for the choosing. Probably should have done this already instead of shuffling the deck and skipping a step like an idiot. Okay.
Why do I get you squeaker toys if you kill them?
Because that's the fun.
Do you hear that?
No.
Can't spell, so in my notes, her name is just gonna be Xlora.
Okay.
I don't know why I buy fucking toys from TJ Maxx. They always break like after a day,
That makes sense.
but they're really cute, and Molly loves them.
Yes.
Okay, you meant dog toys.
Yes. I was just context, Kim. I was talking
We
about
are
dog
not-
toys.
We are not playing
Get
We are
your
not
mind
playing
out the gutter,
Jack in the
Sarah.
Box. We are not playing Jack in the Box.
And I get those from Target, I'll have you know.
I appreciate you. Oh my god, everyone's volumes are so loud now that it fixed Sirenscape's volumes. Everyone else come down. Oh, I forgot the DM. He's at 200%.
Yeah,
Oh.
please. I don't need to be that loud.
No, the clear throat gave
It's
me a
more
clear
important
reminder.
for you to be heard over all of us.
Yeah, but I don't hear
Kim
you.
the loudest because his voice is so low for me.
All right, so
Well, yeah, same.
as before, the 9 cards associated with the choosing are arranged in a 3x3, and Zellara is simply waiting for the first of you to make their choice.
So can I roll to see who goes first?
And if you all want to roll to see who goes first, that's fine. Whatever works.
I don't go first. Unless one is going first, then I go first.
I'll roll.
That rolls for Vandilla.
Ah! Haha!
I'm number one.
We
Wait,
have
I
a
don't
roll
want
up
to. I don't
last.
want to go first. Shit,
You're
I didn't
going
think this
first.
through.
Because I don't have roll
Yep.
20 up.
Yeah, I like that this was the choice because I can expose the 2 people who aren't even on roll 20.
Sorry, I am not feeling great today.
It's okay. Only I can
Um,
see who's not on roll 20. And I guess the rest of you can.
I know you can. I'm just like, I am just a dumbass. And I'm also like not 100% today for some reason.
All
Maybe
good.
you have COVID.
I do not have COVID. I just have a headache.
Yeah, but so does Allie.
Well, my
But
partner
Allie
actually
doesn't have
has
COVID.
and I'm taking care of someone who has COVID, which is the only reason why I tested for it. So Kim's just
I think
tired.
it's probably just like dehydration or
Yes,
stress.
both. Probably both. Let's be honest. I am putting these away. Well, we have a roll off for last, so huzzah, bonk.
Guessing I'll roll for Nadia since
I'll
Brianna's
re-roll.
muted.
All right, I'm before I'm before Allie.
All right, so
I'm
yes,
last.
Sin goes first, then Vondilla, then
Then Kim, then me, then
well, no, Nadia rolled a
and then
12,
Sarah.
so you guys rolled
Well,
threes, so you're yeah. I'm saying your 3 doesn't become whatever your second roll was. That's,
No, I was saying I just go before Allie. That's all I'm saying.
right, yeah. So yeah,
We're
then
on the same page.
Sin, Vondilla, Sarah, Nadia, Theo. Okay. So Sin, which of the cards are you choosing from the 3x3 display in front of you?
I'm gonna go middle.
Middle. Okay.
Where did it go? That's how it-
Sin, your card is the Wanderer. So the Wanderer usually embodies a duality, both in focusing on their efforts at home as well as out in the field. Um, you think on this card, and you reflect on how much that you've done already to help those outside of your influence, being like the just the general citizens of Corvosa, through your acts to help stop the Bloodveil plague from continuing to ravage the city. And you while you feel content with having having done such a great good for others, um, this card makes you reflect on what you could be doing for yourself and to help the matters that are putting a strain on your personal life. And you think back to a few nights ago when you spotted your brother while you were out drinking. Vondilla is going to choose her card next. She's going to go bottom right. Her card is the Snakebite. And what's interesting about this card is the card doesn't quite appear as it does in the picture. In the actual card in front of Vondilla, the person depicted with the envenomed dagger here is clad in mostly red. And this makes those of you who know more about like the seedy underbelly of Corvosa, as well as just those things in general outside of the walls, that makes those people automatically think of the group of assassins known as the Red Mantis. And Vondilla does not know of these people. So once someone clues her in, she's sort of thinking to herself, well, we're going to have to deal with them now. Okay, next I believe was Sarah. So which card are you choosing?
How do I choose a card? I'm sorry.
They're arranged in a 3x3. Dead center has been taken and bottom right's been
Okay.
taken.
I'll take top left.
Top left. Okay, your card is the Hidden Truth.
Okay.
The Hidden Truth, oftentimes depicted as a wizard standing over his spell book while managing to produce some magic of his own. It signifies that there are, well, it could be one of two things. One is that you have shown yourself to be proficient at seeing past what is obvious. And by that, I mean like things that are obvious enough that most people would see that and then just stop questioning or looking into things. Whereas you try to find the more underlying facts of matters. Or the other interpretation is that you are going to be faced with people or groups or some other, maybe an abstract concept that holds many secrets, and it's going to be up to you to get around what's bullshit and what's fake to try and, you know, suss out those secrets and arrive at the truth and become more knowledgeable as a result.
Okay.
All right, Nadia, which card would you like?
Uh, uh, um,
I will here.
Uh,
I'll make this easier. Hold on.
You can do it. Use your brain.
Oh, sorry, I did that as you. The X's represent cards that are no longer there.
Tic-tac-toe, bitch.
Pretty much, yeah.
top right.
Top right.
Why not? Top right. Why not?
It's the wrong card. You're gonna die. It's nice knowing you.
Nice knowing you too. Bye bye.
Your chosen card is
Just
the Vision.
exact in the head. Look
Sorry, what?
at the card. We're making a joke about how you're gonna die, and then the card shows a person getting zapped by lightning to the back of the head.
So yeah, the Vision. The Vision can represent any number of things. Typically, it's you know, more personalized than sort of a universal understood idea of what it is. You seem to hone in on like Sim was just saying that the guy on the card is getting zapped in the head, and you think about like all of these atrocities that have already been committed or have been carried out within the city. You know, you're kind of left wondering what the lasting effect on those who survived is going to be. You know, in your estimation, some of the things that have gone on, you know, any seemingly normal person might be driven to madness by, you know, having to live through a plague and losing loved ones to it, and, you know, this sort of rumor that, you know, it's the queen herself who's perpetrating all of it. And so right now your concerns are with the survivors and with those who otherwise have to carry on, maybe with a piece of themselves missing after this whole ordeal. You also think about, you know, how you approach, you know, dealing with when someone who has experienced these things directly, you know, comes to you knowing that you are a healer, you know, can you help me? All this stuff. You think that you're probably going to be called upon to exercise a great deal of compassion for others as we continue on here. All right, so Theo's turn.
Give me the X's and O's. Bottom left.
That's an interesting card.
What did I get? Hey, look, it's Reef.
Hi. The Rakasha. Hey, I'm not the Rakasha. Oh, that's a fun card. Enjoy.
Oh, what did I get?
So when you choose the Rakshasa, this causes Zellara to kind of pause her, whole theatrics that she includes with these harrow readings. And she just her spirit looks towards you and says, "Oh, I fear that there is no greater representation of our city than this card here. I believe that you may have already dealt with one without knowing."
Dealt with what?
A Rakshasa, like she's being literal.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she says, "Be on the lookout. There are more of them afoot."
That's not good.
What is a Rakshasa? Theo has black hair, but he's naturally a blonde, alright?
Yes. I just see Theo panicking, being like, but what is this thing? What am I about to fight? Someone help me! Tell me!
It's a gator looking very gentlemanly. Duh.
Well, yeah, but that looks like
Really?
Reef to me.
Reef is tipping his tiny crown at you and grinning.
So, I guess you're fighting Reef?
Sure, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll win.
I lost Knives Use once. It doesn't mean I always lose.
Yes, your next battle is against Sir Reefington the Fourth here as he sips his tea.
I'm so glad.
But no, Zellara goes on to explain that Rakshasas are demons that are very adept at disguising themselves as friendly creatures or even just inanimate objects. And they kind of sit and they hope that you pick them up and carry them along, and then they can slowly increase their influence upon you. Zellara does not offer any hints as to what item or what dealing you may have already had with a Rakshasa. So that's a bit of a mystery that you're all kind of left to stew with for the moment. Is what could it have been?
The sound of it being a demon, Sin just looks away.
All right. Last but not least, Reef.
Debatable.
Basically, it's like a diamond pattern left, top and bottom, middle, middle left, middle right.
Okay. Me, correct?
Yes, you.
Top, middle. Fuck it. Make it. Let's cross that whole row out. Whoop.
Oh, another interesting card.
Hey.
Good luck with that.
Hey.
Inquisitor.
So the Inquisitor typically represents immutable reality. It represents what is and what cannot be changed, what is absolute. You think about the stranglehold that the Queen has already exercised over the city in the short time that she has been the lone sovereign of the city after the king's death. And given the speed of which things have changed and how ruthless that Queen Ileosa seems to be about getting the city to where she wants it, it leaves you wondering, what's she hiding? What's her game? You know, what does she not want people to know? And how can you draw that out of her?
Reese is clapping to himself and going, okay, so what I've wanted to do all along. Can I get the truth?
You see that, Reef? We're totally justified in our desire to kill the queen. See? Don't even worry about it. Like that, Nadia.
I didn't even say anything to you.
I know, but usually the goody two-shoes, they don't want us to kill people, but now we have a justification to kill the queen.
Okay.
So take that.
And?
More murder is on the horizon.
Okay, and?
Last time I checked, you don't like the idea of killing people.
That's, well, we...
Whatever. Cleric is finally cracked.
In an instant, the cards from the choosing are sort of snapped back up into the deck as Zellara begins reshuffling, preparing to do the proper reading. I am finished shuffling. Would you like me to cut the deck?
Yeah.
Where should I cut? How far into the deck?
Middle.
Close to the middle.
Middle? Okay.
I was about to pull out a fraction and say, cut precisely 5/8 of the deck. But nah, middle's close enough. I made the dip.
Let's see here.
Why is it quiet?
Oh, I'm just arranging everything. Okay.
I'm heating up soup with the hope that that helps with my headache.
So...
Soup makes everything better. It's like a real life drug.
All right, so the cards for the reading have now been dealt out. The first card in the top left is the Paladin.
God damn it.
The Paladin represents standing strong in the face of great adversity. And this card is in its exact correct placement, so it is extra meaning.
Of course it does.
Zellara, now granted, this is the past first, so this is more indicative of what you've already done. rather than what's going to happen. But Zellara simply.
And this harrowing is for the whole group, right?
Yeah, this is for the whole group.
Okay.
Zellara simply looks, her spirit looks at all of you, and she says, "You've already faced great challenges, and here you are. You've done very well. But the trials are not over yet. Unfortunately, there is much more to come. But you all have managed to persevere because you do what you know is right, no matter what the toll is. I trust that you will continue to make the right choices." Second card in the past column is the Avalanche. Realize it should be. Oh, hold on. Damn it. There we go. Okay. Bit of a tech issue at Roll20. Sorry.
Roll 20 is always doing Roll 20 things.
Yeah, no, I think this one was my fault, but all right, we're good.
Yeah, but the rules, just let's blame Roll 20. I appreciate you taking ownership, but still.
All right, so that was the Paladin. Second card is the Avalanche. Now the Avalanche, as you can see on the card, it's just an unmitigated natural disaster. It's uncaring, it's unfeeling. There's no reason or thought behind it. It is.
I gotta make a phone call real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. It's just a thing that overruns all who get in its way. And Zellara says, "Well, normally this card would indicate that there is some other disaster about to befall you, but placed here, I believe that it shows, much like the Paladin, it shows what you've already overcome. The city was, well, let's just say everything was looking bleak with the plague. But you stopped it. Something that appeared to not have an end in sight. Think about what that means, and think about how much confidence that should instill in all of you." She moves to the final card related to the past, which is the Cyclone. Similar to the Avalanche, it's once again depicting an unthinking, unreasonable force that just destroys whatever it meets. However, what differs is that the Cyclone is a bit more representative of man-made disaster than the Avalanche is. And Zellara says, "Oh, it's only fitting that this card follows the Avalanche. You managed to figure out that this disaster was not natural. It was caused by evil. And I fear that there will be more troubles of this nature rather than the ones that come out of nowhere. The evil in the castle still exists, as you know. And while you may not be ready to face it yet, Everything you do will be in preparation for that moment. She kind of just pauses and lets you guys kind of like, stew over it for a minute. If there's anything you want to discuss amongst yourselves regarding the cards so far, feel free. Otherwise, I will continue.
So basically, our past is there. Shit's gone down, and so far we've survived.
I mean, we thrived more than survived, but I don't like the paladin being there, but at least it's there, not anywhere else.
So I think what we need to do is tread carefully and be aware of who we're trusting. Just from what everyone's cards are saying, it seems like we've been a bit too open and we don't know who the whole is. Not anyone in the group, but someone we've dealt with. So we either need to how the fuck are we even supposed to get close to the queens?
Queen's inner circle, easy. We
I
kill
don't
enough
know, but
people, and we get there. It's no worries. Easy clap.
maybe the
Reef
cards can tell us more.
Reef looks up and goes, "Wait a second.
Why?
This city, you're king of the sewers. Do you think the sewer people would help us?"
They still owe
Do
us that favor, so probably.
I mean, sewers are everywhere, of course, underneath the nobility and the castle too, I'd assume. So if we need to get into anywhere, I think our best bet is to ask them for a map and network of the sewer system, because that's the one favor, as opposed to having us guided once and never knowing where else we're going. We can get one of their maps and we can plan something to do. And maybe we won't have to do so much bloodshed. Maybe we can just get down to the truth.
True.
Of course, if bloodshed is needed, I won't shy from it. But if we
I
want
mean,
the
you'll
population
try.
to stay on our
But
side,
let's face it, you don't shed much blood, Reef. Let's just face it.
I, what?
You
I,
miss 70% of your shots, my boy.
Reef is looking at him and going, and pointing at all the scars all over his body and goes, "Yes, but I shed enough blood for everyone else. It's fine."
Can
Yeah,
we not
you shed
argue about
blood.
who's the most badass and figure out a plan? But also, I would like to hear what else Zellara has to say before she goes and disappears as a ghost again. To help,
Sure.
You
because we
got
still
out.
have 2 more rows of cards.
Alright, fine. Just know that when I mean shed blood, I mean deal damage, not take damage. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, yep, one moment.
Reef lost his ability to be technically correct and says nothing.
Okay. So in the middle column, we start with this guy here. So just as a refresher, this is now the column representing the present. This card here usually signifies fellowship, camaraderie, as well as depicted by the couple of shit-faced people laying on the floor. It represents a place of refuge for those in need. Zellara says, "I know some of you may be thinking, why is there a Cyclops pouring beer, running a bar. But no, do not worry about him. What you should be worried about is that for all of the good you've already done, a new story is about to begin. A a more fulfilling and perhaps difficult quest will soon become known to you.
Oh, Jesus Christ! She's like, sorry, she's like stepping on the computer.
And this is one that will bring you out of your comfort zone.
Damn.
I urge you to be ready.
Fucking bug.
Next up is the winged serpent. This card represents power, knowledge, also prudence and understanding. And Zellara just says, I overheard your discussion about the queen and what she's done and whether or not you could face her. And I will tell you that you are right to be discussing these matters.
That's it.
No,
I feel like
no.
this-
She pauses and she says, "But there will be a time that is right to strike. It is not now, and all I can tell you is that when it comes, you will know. But you will have to wait a bit." Sorry, I was fighting back a sneeze.
Can't kill the queen right now. God damn it. Fine.
Ha 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 ha.
All right, shut up, Sarah.
That wasn't me.
That
That
wasn't
wasn't Sarah.
That was
That
Nadia.
was... Yeah.
Oh, Melinda
No,
or Nadia? I can never tell.
They're pretty
You
much
look
the same
too
person.
alike.
Well, yeah, they're related.
I can't tell a difference between them.
Theo, are you saying that all humans look the same to you?
Would that be racist of
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Then yes.
To be fair,
I mean,
elves are
yeah,
pretty
you look at-
racist, so
Yeah. I'm just playing into my character here, bud.
Yeah, tell it to the cancel culture, bub.
tell it to the queen.
Cool.
Tell it to the queen. The queen is racist against elves.
I think the queen is racist against everyone.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Well, then you wouldn't be racist if you're an equal opportunity hater.
I mean, honestly,
True, I
anyone
think
that's
that
not
you're
an elf.
misanthrope?
Yeah, I guess that would work.
I think out of this group, only Sin and Reef are like the people that stand out that I could tell who are who. Everyone else is just fair game. It's interchangeable.
You hear that, Reef? We're one of a kind. Dab me up.
So the last card in the center column, the Hidden Truth is back.
Hi.
I don't understand.
This card is currently misaligned. So while I had explained previously what this card represents, when it is in a misaligned state, Zellara goes on and she says, "The secret that you find, unfortunately, may be to your detriment. It's not set in stone, but do not be surprised if it is not the answer you want. Like before, she kind of just pauses for a moment as she's finished another column. Allows you to all to digest the information and discuss amongst yourselves if you want. Let me know if you just want me to move on.
Alright, so what we
So
gathered is that this next part's gonna be even harder than was before. Fantastic. Oh, we will kill the queen, but not right now. Again, fantastic. And something about a secret being to our detriment.
So,
Oh, that's not good.
so I'm gonna take a stab in the dark out of character. Spoilers. Sarah's fiance is not dead. He's the mastermind this whole time and faked his death to aid the queen, and that's a secret. That's a detriment and harsh.
that would be that. You're right. Like I
Are we playing bingo here?
well, to be
'Cause
honest,
I need to know, because if I need to put that on my bingo card, there are other things on my bingo card that I need to know. Like, I need to build my
move
bingo
around.
card here.
I feel you. So I think, how much control do you think the vampires have in the city? And do you think she was just utilizing that small
I think the
cohort?
queen is a vampire. That's my personal prediction.
Okay, back in character. Vampires probably have more control than we think they do. I mean, they tend not to operate in the open though, so I'm not sure about the queen being a vampire, but I could be wrong.
Nah, I'm pretty sure the queen's vampire. This is out of character, by the way.
Well, the queen did. I mean, the Zellara did mention something about demons, so
And the king
demonic
died because
vampires.
she sucked his blood.
So we can't go after her yet. We don't have enough power. We don't have enough evidence. And we don't have enough favor with nobility here, or we
You
have
don't have
favor
enough
with the
power.
populace. Yes,
No, you.
Nah.
we all don't have enough power to go after the queen right now. What I'm
Well, hit
saying
you with a
though,
reverse card.
Reef puts his head in his hands and just looks at you and goes, "Okay, so the plan is to curry more favor with the people around the queen and find who the people are that are completely loyal and the ones that are helping her douse the city in chaos and start picking away at them. Because if we can sow discord for her and her cabinet, then it's going to lead to gaps in their plan and a chance for us to get through, or at least to learn more of what their plans are. Because it doesn't make much sense to me to kill a bunch of your populace if you're trying to be a royal and maintain control over a nation or a city. So what was the end goal of this? What was the purpose of the plague? What is she trying to do here? Distract. But from what?
I don't like the idea of making friends with nobility, but we get to kill them in the end, and I guess I'll tolerate it.
Well, we can rub elbows, and there's got to be at least a few of them are decent, I would assume. And
No.
if not, then judge, jury, executioner. I leave you to it.
Alright, kill the nobles. Got it.
Do we want to go and ask for that sewer map now or later? I feel like later when we're closer to our further incursion plans, but I just
I
figured I'd
say,
ask all of
I
you
say
your
later. I
opinions.
say later. So the rats will be
Okay.
more likely to help us if something that bad is actually going down.
Okay. Brief nods and goes, that makes sense. I look at Zalara's deck and I look at everyone else and I said, we've all made it this far. We all have our weaknesses and we all have our strengths, but together I think we're a pretty formidable group. And I think if we stick together, we're all going to make it out of here better off than we began. And then I look back at Zellara and says, "What else do you have to say?"
Oh, god damn it, I hate that card.
She says, "Well, it is interesting that you say this because of where the future begins here." As she points out the mute hag, which is misaligned in this position. Normally, the mute hag invokes
It looks like Arizona.
things like poisonous secrets, the type of stuff that can sever even something like a blood pact, um, things that turn brother against brother, parent against child, turn best friends against each other. It
It's misaligned though, so it
Yes,
doesn't represent
yes.
that.
For a little more context, it's a card that's especially despised by performer types because it typically leaves them stumbling over their words and songs.
Oh, great. Okay.
But misaligned, Zellara says, "That was a fine speech you gave. I can tell that there is unshakable loyalty in this room. You say what you mean. And even if there are disagreements, you work them out and you continue on as friends and as teammates. I don't foresee that changing for you." So she essentially is just affirming what Reef says.
Reef nods and holds the note from his friend close to his chest and looks at everyone else and going, "For once the Hoard could grow instead of shrink, that would be a glorious thing."
Next card is the Twin. This the twin card signals a duality of purpose or some kind of identity. It can also represent the concept of indecision, as one or more of you may waver between different options that are before you. This card, you see, I mean, about as much as you can on the face of a spirit. You see a look of concern come over Zellara, and she just says, "We who are harrowers are rightly afraid of this card because it calls the entire thing into question. This card, in addition to its more accepted interpretations, it can also mean that the spread before you has a hidden or perhaps even an opposite meaning. But given what I've seen so far, I am confident that this is the more run of the mill appearance of this card. You may feel that you have more choices than you know what to do with, and it can be difficult to narrow things down. Just make sure you don't lose focus of your main goal." The final card is the Keep, which is also misaligned. That's one of the funniest card designs by
Very
far.
true.
Oh, look, it's Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah.
I like that, but Robo-fied. It's Howl's Moving Castle mid Iron Giant.
Don't question why the cast has robot arms.
I love it. I'm not gonna question it at all.
Castle Bender is here too.
Castle Bender, that's fantastic.
So yeah, the Keep typically is a symbol of quiet strength, one that can move when necessary, yet stand firm through the greatest hardship. But again, misaligned. So Zellara says, "Beware of temptation. This card represents that some kind of enticing reward or option will be placed before you, and it is meant as a diversion or perhaps a way to sow strife within your group. You must ignore it. You must remain dedicated to saving the city and dedicated to each other. Do not let this temptation or promise of greater strength cause you to fail. As before, she lets things simmer for a moment before moving on. So, is there anything you'd like to say to each other or to her?
Oh, we're fucked.
Reef looks at Sin and goes, "We're not fucked. We're just gonna do our normal bickering and then move on and realize we're the Horde, and we're gonna do our best to stay together and realize that whatever differences might crop up, we should be prepared for it because we've had forewarning."
We are not fucked.
Alright, let me rephrase it. I'm fucked because the last card, yeah, that thing doesn't go too well with me. So good luck, everyone.
You are also not fucked. Nobody is fucked. Nobody is getting fucked, much to my displeasure, and nothing is going to be fucking with us.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of faith, but maybe they're doing some lying about the keep. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Well, as long as we don't get tempted, we'll be fine.
Zin gives you a very annoyed look until he points to his horns again.
As long as. So you're supposed to be doing the temptation, not being tempted.
Zin looks down for a moment like, shit, she's right. Alright, fine. Alright, so remember everyone, eyes on the prize, kill the queen. That's what I got out of this.
But what if the queen offers us all our hopes and dreams?
I mean, I'm not sure what kind of hope or dream you can have, but for me, as a devil, all I desire is to kill a queen, so not much you can offer me.
Her dick.
I was also kidding, but okay.
I don't know, Sarah. I don't know. Hello, Nadia. I'm right.
Nah.
Meh is not a nah, so I'll take it.
Wanting to break the silence, Zellara begins to gather up all the Harrow cards and she simply says, "I know that this didn't give you all the answers that you seek, but I trust that you will be able to arrive at the conclusions you are hoping for. You've come this far, and you will only improve from here. I will see you again soon." And
Ow.
her spirit just fades back into the deck, and the deck returns to its place. Well, it doesn't quite go back all the way back onto Sarah's person, but it just rests in front of her at the table.
Well, I guess she wasn't mad at me using them.
Reef kind of like
She
bows
comes
to
back,
her
she
as
comes
she
back out of the cards and
disappears.
slaps you.
Look, that was a genuine concern, okay?
Okay. So,
All right.
before we go any further, let's see here. So we need to divvy up hero points for this adventure. Everybody gets one to start. You all get a second one because there was one card associated, or one card of the suit that is associated with this adventure. So everybody gets two. Sarah gets a third point because her card appeared during the choosing.
Let's go.
So she will have three, and the rest of you will have two for this adventure. As far as what you can spend them on, the Harrow deck suit associated with this adventure is books. So, as you might guess, this is going to be related to intelligence. As before, each of you will have one specific encounter, which will activate the latent power of the Harrow card that you chose within you. When this occurs, you get a +2 on all intelligence-based checks, being ability or skills. And I believe, let's see, charisma, wisdom, charisma. Okay, this last one only applies to Sarah because she's the only one that can do this. When Sarah, when the choosing buff manifests for you, you also treat your caster level as one higher when casting your bard spells.
Nice. That's actually awesome.
Hero points can be spent on one of the following three things. This first one, once again, actually only applies to Sarah. PC with levels in a class that grants bonus spells based on intelligence can spend a point to increase the power of a spell from that class list if they cast it. You increase the DC of the spell by 2. And it gets a +4 on caster level checks to overcome resistance, and it gets a +2 on any attack rolls associated with the spell. The second use of a hero point here is going to be a skill boost. You can spend a hero point to attempt a skill check that requires training, but you are not trained, so you have no ranks. So yeah, you can spend a point to make an untrained check, and you get a +5 bonus on the check. And the final one is you can spend a point to re-roll an intelligence based check.
Tim, do you mind like writing this all down for us later?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having trouble processing right now, and I'm not sure why.
Here's what I'll do. I'll use.
All right,
my
Tim,
handy-
question.
Yeah. What's up?
So, like, thanks to one of my thingies, I use my intelligence for a charisma check. So does that count?
Sorry, what?
The last one said that I get a bonus for an intelligence check, but I have a charisma scale intimidate that I use my intelligence with instead of charisma. So does that count?
That would count, yes.
Let's go. That's what I like to say. probably only gonna use for that one. All I need. What are you doing, cat?
All right, so yeah, the point spending stuff is in the group chat now, just for everybody.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No worries. All right, so yeah, now with that done,
So
I believe you were heading out to, unless you change your mind. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on where you said you wanted
no,
to go.
no. Well, there's many places we said we would want to go, and we're not really sure where to transition here, to be honest. At least me, because the things I planned for is definitely with the new information a later point, and Reef got overzealous.
Okay.
So now Reef is trying to figure out who they should trust, who they should build better connections with, and who exactly we should avoid. I know that the captain fell out of favor with the queen. Do you think she fell out of favor because the queen actually doesn't like her, or she was one of the queen's operatives and failed? Because
The
we were
captain
just hearing.
fell out of favor with the queen.
Well, yeah, like she no longer is really like the guards don't really. She literally couldn't keep us in this in her service. She has guards that don't listen to her
Oh,
and that
you
are more loyal to the queen. Yeah, the guard
the
captains.
field marshal. Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, I understand now.
Sorry. Yeah. So I was trying to think if we should actually try to go to her, or if, and then asking everyone, or if they think that she actually could be an issue. Because the Rakasha, we've already dealt with one, and we're not sure who it is.
Mhm.
I mildly trust the marshal.
That
Not
is
enough.
legitimately saying a lot.
Do we want
Maybe
to
not.
go? Do we want to go talk to her? Do we
I
think she
think
could
sure, that's
actually be of
probably a good
aid?
idea.
Well,
All right.
whenever we need to do something, we usually wander over to her, and she usually has something for us that leads us in the right direction anyway.
So I think we should stop by the job board, see if there's any new information there. Because Theo made a good point earlier. See if there's just like hints or stuff or new things going on. And then with that new information, any possible jobs we pick up, go to the captain so we can be like, hey, we have this we found. What's your thought? Is there any ulterior things going on with it? That's my suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys depart and you start heading towards Citadel Volshinik, where the Corvosan Guard resides. Um, during the walk, anyone who would like to roll perception can do so now.
Perception.
I'll roll perception. Hold on.
Thank you for
Yeah.
following whoever did that. I saw nothing. I saw nothing. I'm
You
not
too
in the
busy
game
on
my
Steady.
brain thought I was. I don't have a wasp familiar.
You should get one.
I was thinking about that. I think Reef having a familiar would be cool. Ooh, Reef is going to put it in his little notebook to look up the favored creatures of Yaren.
Excellent. Nadia,
What?
use your eyeballs, goddammit.
I know,
No.
right? I hate having to participate.
That's why you use your eyeballs. Right there.
Well, the funny thing is that you're all wrong. This is about like listening more than hearing, but nonetheless,
Your
Nadia,
earballs.
the rest of you are absorbed enough by the Harrow reading and what you might want to ask Cressida, when you get to the Citadel, that with the exception of Nadia, none of you overhear some chatter coming from a nearby storefront where there are two common folk who are just shooting the breeze about whatever's going on, and Nadia overhears one of them mention that the Queen has stated that she's going to give kind of an impromptu address in the castle courtyard in roughly 1 hour's time.
You got a good courtyard to help, guys. Yeah.
Why?
It's improper to theme thing.
Look at where you're thinking.
What do you mean a thing of a thing?
Like a beach or something, I think.
Reese,
The Queen!
Reese beelines. Reese grabs everyone's hand, like whoever's close tells them to grab hold of everyone near them, and just starts walking up very, very quickly in that direction.
Okay. And just to be clear, this is now eliminating the trip to the Citadel. You're heading straight to the courtyard.
Yeah, so.
Yes, because I mean, her speech ain't gonna be there forever, so
That's,
I feel
that's
like
a good
knowing what
point.
she's trying to say. So yeah, we are going to the courtyard.
All right. And you quickly learn. You quickly learn that it was a good idea not to go to the Citadel because you wouldn't have found Cressida there. She is
Here.
she is here at the courtyard, as well as many other business owners and other influential figures in the city. For example, you pass by the archbanker of the Grand Vault of Abadar, as well as the nobleman Eamon Gelento, who you had rescued from a pack of angry mob types that were harassing him for being a rich person. And up on the sort of ledge that you see the Queen on, obviously there's Cressida Croft. You see this man here who, if any of you in your backstories would have been familiar with the organization within Corvosa known as the Sable Company, they are the ones that have the sort of like the hippogriff kind of patrols that fly around the city and deliver justice. He's up there. This guy's name is Marcus. Also clad in her armor is Sabina Marin, the sort of the head of the Grey Maidens. And this person who you guys are not familiar with, let me first reveal. Okay, that's Marcus. And then there's this guy. Like I said, this person, not someone that you've ever seen before. I gotta get to his sort of stat block so I can properly describe him. Where are you?
And that guy is Jabba the Hutt for real.
Dude, you're telling me.
Alright, I'm gonna write him down. I'm just gonna I'm now giving him the name Toto the Hutt.
Toto the Hutt. I like that. All right, so yes, this is a. Okay, so despite his appearance, this is a human. Just one that kind of looks like he's been a little bit twisted by whatever magic he practices. It's not really possible to tell what kind of magic he's into just by looking at him, but something's a little off with this guy.
You a witch for real.
Once the chatter has died down a bit, Queen Ileosa begins her address. out here or what? Doesn't sound like it. So she begins by. Why do I keep losing my place? Okay. So the first thing that you guys notice actually is the crown that Queen Ileosa is wearing it just appears to be slightly different. If somebody wants to go ahead and roll perception for that to figure out what is different about it, because as far as you can tell, it's just like
Crown
you're
of
just like
goddamn thorns.
you're just like, oh, it's there's a different shape to it.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
So Sarah and Reef both notice that the crown has several objects that seem to like come together upon it that resemble fangs. And not, given the size of them, it's not fangs that would have come from like a vampire or something that is more like humanoid size. No, this is like a much larger creature, perhaps even a dragon. That these fangs have come from. And she also just reading body language as well. The two of you that noticed about the crown, I guess Sin could discern this too. Queen Ileosa is carrying herself with sort of an added confidence that she didn't have before.
Good God.
Seems like she has even more conviction with what she's about to say and with her appearance. And she starts with...
The plague has been defeated, as has its mastermind. For his part in the manufacture and spread of Bloodvale, Dr. Davalis has been executed, as have his accomplices in the Order of the Queen's Physicians. Those who worked for him unknowingly have received royal pardons, as they already carry the burden of their deeds they performed in good faith.
She is, of course, referring to Dr. Davalis and the Queen's Physicians with this statement. She does not indicate who executed Dr. Davalis, whether that's because she doesn't want people to know or she simply doesn't want to give you all credit for doing it is a mystery, but nonetheless, she leaves that detail out. And she continues. I'm going to hit this button because I think it's right, but if I suddenly stop it, it was not right. Let's see.
Commandant Endrin of the Sable Company, step forward.
No, I was a little bit too soon.
Yet Corvosa remains wounded.
Here we go.
The Order of the Nail has shown its true colors and fled like cowards into Citadel Vraid. Worse, both the Corvosan Guard and the Sable Company have suffered terrible losses over the past weeks. Neither group is fully capable of continuing as Corvosa's protectors, and thus, to shore up this fault, I name the Grey Maidens as the official new protectors of Corvosa. I appoint Sabina Marin as the city's new general.
She comes forward. Sabina does, that is. Bows ever so slightly to the crowd. And she turns to Queen Ileosa and says, "Thank you, Your Majesty." And then looks back at the crowd and she says, "I swear to protect the city and perform my duties to the best of my ability." And she turns around and retakes her place.
Huh.
She also gestures towards this guy back here. And she says, "As some of you know, the castle's seneschal has gone missing and has been missing for, well, longer than I would like. and that is a post that cannot remain unfilled. So I hereby name
Here, boy.
gesturing back towards the kind of bloated looking guy behind her, and she says, I name Togamore here, the new castle seneschal. And he doesn't make his way up to the front. He gives like a subtle wave and bows his head and just says, "Thank you, Your Highness. I will not disappoint you." And then just goes back to minding his own business. She continues then to harp on some of the other institutions in the city that either have been or are now unable to fulfill their duties as well as they can. She mentions again that the guard has lost many of their number. So has the Sable Company. And she mentions that the maintenance involved with keeping the hippogriff mounts fed and taken care of has put a great strain on the city's bottom line, if you will, and also mentions that they've been relatively incompetent in dealing with the unrest in the city. And by the way, I should mention that if at any point anyone wants to roll sense motive, like, go for it.
Oh, fuck yes. Fuck yes.
I should have said that at the outset, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's understood that at any point, if someone wants to roll sense motive, you can do that.
Can I have one
I'll-
roll for the first section and one roll for the second section, since this
Sure.
is like
That's fine.
okay.
That's fine.
Like, I'm gonna roll
Thank you.
sense motive, but I already know that I call bullshit immediately.
I did the same thing that Reef did and rolled for the first section and the second section.
Okay, so each of you have differing results based on your rolls. I will say that the point about the cost of the Sable Company and what their needs are and keeping everything on the up and up with them, and how that has really hamstrung the budget of the city, that's a bit of an exaggeration. It's not that much of an exaggeration that they haven't been doing their job very well. She's not lying about that, and she's not being malicious about that, but the whole point about, oh, the hippogriffs are too expensive to maintain, like, those of you who rolled high can kind of tell that she's kind of just fishing for excuses and that there's something else afoot. She I will say that for the first set of rolls, which I'll use Nadia's 28 for that, the queen knows something that she's not telling regarding the old seneschal. She tells the story of how he fled the city in its time of need. Nadia, you're pretty confident that that's not true, that something happened to him. This wasn't just a guy that got scared by a virus. You know, you get the feeling that that's not true. You have no way of proving that she's lying or that she had anything to do with it, but you're left feeling like, no, that's not right. Something's afoot here.
Okay.
The rest of what she said is more or less true. You know, the guard, of course, has suffered great losses. So has the Sable Company. The Order of the Nail bit about how they also, you know, as she said, showed their true colors and fled. None of you really know enough about that to say whether it's true or not. But it seemed plausible as she was delivering it. But that could be worth something. That could be something worth looking into, along with any other investigations you plan to conduct here. So, at this point, she turns to Marcus Endrin to her left, who is visibly shaken by what he's hearing and obviously what has already transpired in the city. But she being Queen Ileosa proceeds nonetheless.
Commandant Endrin of the Sable Company.
Oh, that played twice. Hold on, let's fix that.
Commandant Endrin of the Sable Company, step forward.
As you command, my queen.
Considering the strain upon the city's coffers that the care and feeding of the company's hippogriff mounts places, as well as the company's relative incompetence in helping to deal with the recent unrest, and the fact that the company's commander, Seneschal Calipopoulos, has fled the city rather than stay by my side in my time of need, I have decided to disband the organization and seize its holdings. Commandant Endrin, step forth to surrender your badge of office.
As you command. Your shameful reign ends now. Corvosa will be free again.
Oh shit!
This shall be the fate of all enemies of Corvosa. Mark well his punishment. It is only the first.
Is this daytime or nighttime right now? And is she in the shade?
Daytime.
Is she in the shade?
No.
Did she just kill him?
I will.
What the fuck just happened?
I will explain. Currently,
There's a fucking.
The rest of the crowd is in growing riotous at what they just witnessed. So here's what occurred because the audio doesn't really convey it all that well. Marcus Endrin stepped forward and he was going to present his badge and any other materials to the queen for seizure. And instead he took a step back and he drew his longbow. He said his spiel, as you heard, Corvosa will be free. He then knocked an arrow, fired it, and it sunk right into the side of the queen's head. The queen.
Oh, she's dead?
The queen
No.
then.
Oh.
The queen somehow and, just unnaturally unfazed by this, pulled the arrow from her head, grabbed the hold of Marcus's neck, took the arrow, shoved it through his jaw and out the side of his face.
Oh no.
So what the okay. She's not a vampire. She's not a fucking vampire. She's made a pact with a goddamn demon. She's made pacts with demons or devils. Either way, not good. Not good. Reef is looking at everyone and backing away very quickly. I'm gonna say the people who riot here tonight are going to be slaughtered, and I'm not going to get caught in this chaos. We need to figure things out. We need to get to the marshal and see if we can get her out of here.
One other point of order that is occurring here is as Marcus just crumples to the ground, the queen sort of just like indignantly shakes the blood off of her hand. She takes a step back where Tagamore takes her by the hand and teleports them both away. Sabina, for her part, she immediately jumps into the fray and attempts to quell the rioting, leaving Cressida to kind of just deal with the Marcus situation. She spots you all in the crowd and starts desperately trying to wave any of you down. She's kind of just like hopping around and like flailing her arms, like hoping that one of you spots her. Roll perception, everybody.
Yurt.
Okay, yes. Sarah and Reef and Nadia, no problem. You all see Cressida just desperately trying to get your attention, and you direct the others who don't see what's going on, or maybe are having a little difficulty, to rush to her side. And where Cressida she like, you can tell she's like got a hand on him, and she's just trying to assess his condition, and she just says like, he's alive, but we got to get him out of here. And I don't have tokens for it necessarily, but a couple of the other gray maidens like rush forward, and they just say, "You'll do nothing of the sort, Field Marshal. He belongs to us." And they take Marcus and they whisk him away.
How many
Sarah's
of the
just like,
how
"What
many of the
the
maidens are there?
fuck?"
2, and they do what they did extremely swiftly. Like, none of you can ready yourselves. They just
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. When she said I'm gonna take him away, I stopped Reef from just literally. I looked in my inventory to see if I had a heal kit, and he was literally just gonna take the man into the air and fly off with him. But if it's too quick for me to even do that, I respect it, and I accept whatever it is. I just saying what the plan I originally had.
yeah, these gray maidens were ready to kind of run interference in anything that was going to be done by, do-gooders like you guys.
If
So
anything, we're just looking at and being like, we literally just had someone that we've known as an ally until now get murdered. We're not thinking clearly, so it's not anything against the queen inherently. It's just her job as field marshal is to not let people in her control die. So
Cressida just says, "Okay, well, he wasn't dead, so they're probably just going to
Sarah just looks at him. They're
going
trying to kill him.
to imprison him somewhere. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
Sarah's like, "It's
maybe you're right. Maybe they will kill him, but
Yeah, it was a public execution. If I hate saying this, that was a public execution. If it's proven that he didn't die from that, they're going to have even worse riots. It's going to show weakness on the part of the queen. So having him imprisoned doesn't benefit anyone. Plus, looking at the wounds, he was alive for now. He wasn't going to be alive for long.
she just says, you're probably right. As much as it pains me to say it,
I don't
think there's a lot we can
honestly,
do for him right now."
I hate to say it, but Gray Man's probably acting on orders, and even if they weren't, I probably would have done the same thing.
She just says, "Look, the gray maidens, they're not going to answer to us. They're not going to allow us to step in here. We should probably just leave and live to fight another day. I'll meet you at the Citadel." And she like begins like pushing past everybody and just
Reef makes a very intimidating gesture at any of the people in the crowd that get in her way and stands up as tall as possible and spreads his wings like, I dare you to get in our way, and we're gonna just do our best to walk out.
Sarah's like, Reef, down, boy, down.
No, Reef's getting
The
out of this
safest way
crowd.
for us to, we need to get out of here, but let's not
Yeah,
draw
we're,
attention to ourselves.
my sword is not drawn. I am merely using my presence to get through this crowd as I watch someone like just body the person next to them and going, because this is turning into a riot. And I grab onto the tiny ones and I put them behind me and ask Sin and Theo to guard the rear and us try to form a chain just getting out of here. And whenever we get out of the crowd, that's when we split from Cressida, is what
I am assuming
Reef's
that I
plan
am
is.
one of the tiny ones.
Yes, you are one of the tiny ones.
So Sarah
right.
just gets picked up. She's like, okay.
Yep.
Reef, roll intimidate. Okay. So
+4 versus Carvosins, by the way. So that's
Indeed.
a 31.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so the crowd, amidst all of its yelling and doing battle with some of the Gray Maidens, they, you're an unmistakable figure in all of this, and they they do their best to kind of give you a path of least resistance to get through and
Good.
make sure Cressida gets out okay and allow you to start finding your way towards the Citadel where you can meet up with her later.
I look at the queen, just like complete composure on my face, and just do a little head nod, clearly showing like none of us have pulled out our arms, and we are just leaving. We came, we listened to the speech, and we are leaving. We are not rioting. We are not fighting one way or another.
Yeah, none of the Grey Maidens stop you because you're not being openly violent or attempting to assist the crowd in any way.
No, we just saw a man fall not dead in front of us, and immediately out of field training tried to assist, got told no, stopped, and now we're leaving. So as far as Reef is just staring down the queen like, I know what you did.
Oh,
This
the queen,
I respect your power.
queen is
At
not
least
there,
in
but
this moment.
Sarah just kind of awkwardly waves to the Grey Maidens and signals that they're leaving.
Oh, I meant like before she left. Like Reef is very clearly just staring at her like I'm not. My intimidating factor. That the whole point was I am not trying to get on the bad side of the royal house in this current moment, and any intimidation tactics I did were to compel and control the crowd. If anything would look like I'm doing so in the queen's favor outside looking in. That's kind of the gist I was trying to hope get across.
Okay, understood. Yeah, and as you make your way to the exit of the courtyard and as you leave the castle grounds, um, the sounds of unrest and rioting are pretty quickly replaced by that of sort of like pained groans and weak sounding complaints directed at the Grey Maidens as they have brutally but effectively stopped the potential riot rather quickly. Um, Nonetheless, you manage to get out of there unscathed, and you find your way to the Citadel with Cressida, where surely she will want to have a long conversation with all of you about what just happened. But first, I think we should take our break here.
Perfect.
Sense.
So we'll say 10, 15 minutes and come on back
Yeah.
for the rest of the session.
Yes.
We'll see you then.
Be back soon.
it.
Alright.
Also, I can't find Yaren's official animal. I actually can't find any information on Yaren except for the D20 Pathfinder
Yeah,
SRD.
that's because Yaren is like a third party creation.
And but it doesn't say. It says the source is PDGLOY, and I don't know. I can't find the source, so I can't even go consult the main source to be like, what the fuck did I get into?
That means you get to make up whatever animal you want.
What is LOY though? PDGLOY. I still okay. Tangent over.
It's Loy. Put some perspective on his name.
Fair, fair. I'm gonna have to figure out a favorite animal. I think I'm gonna pick a rat. Nope, someone else has a rat. The shade does. Continue. Game can start. My bad. Tangent. Oh. Oh.
Um, all right. We are back from our break and we are ready to continue. So we're going to pick up from Citadel, where obviously you arrive and Cressida like hurries all of you into her office, like slams the door behind all of you. And she kind of just sits down in her chair behind her desk and kind of just like slumps back a bit, still like reeling, before finally collecting herself and addressing you all, with the following.
Corvosa is dying. No, strike that. Corvosa is being murdered. Killed by our queen. The evidence you've uncovered that links her to the plague is damning enough. But now that she's disbanded the Sable Company and reallocated our own funding to the Grey Maidens, she's more in control now than ever. I dare not move against her, as my guards would be executed to the last fighter by her Grey Maidens before sundown. But she must be stopped, and I know of no one else but you to do this deed. Whatever foul magic the Queen has wrapped herself in is obviously of the highest order. Endrin's aim was true, and his shot should have dropped her. I had feared he was going to take matters into his own hands like this, but hoped he would find it within himself to find a better route. If only he could have waited. But there is hope. You see, Vencarlo Orsini's been one of my most trusted sources of information regarding the public. It's hard for an officer of the Corvosan Guard to get honest opinions from the citizens, and Vencarlo's observations on these topics have been a godsend, particularly since the plague started. When the Queen quarantined Old Corvosa, I'd feared his messages would end, yet he managed to find ways to smuggle updates to me every day. Recently, he wrote of discovering something of vital importance regarding the Queen. He mentioned something about dark magic, and a pact with the devil, but until the events of this morning, I found his claims difficult to believe. But even more astounding, he'd hinted he'd found a lead on Seneschal Kallipopolis, and implied the man might still be hiding in Old Corvosa.
Huh?
That was the last I heard from him. It's been several days, and I've started to worry for his safety. The rumors about riots and gangs seizing control of entire neighborhoods in Old Corvosa are disturbing. Clearly, the plumes of smoke we all see rising from fires on the island are proof that as bad as things are elsewhere, they're probably worse in Old Corvosa. I can see a time in the near future when the Corvosan Guard is disbanded as well. Even now, I lack the resources to mount my own investigations, which is where you come in. Trusting you may have been my best decision over the past several months. For your group holds the possibility of Corvosa's salvation. I ask you to seek out Vencarlo in Old Corvosa and to learn more of what he's discovered about the nature of our queen's increasingly violent and destructive turns of personality. Ironically, you should actually be safer in Old Corvosa, since the queen's quarantine has cut off the island entirely, and word on the street is that she plans on leaving it to rot. She won't think to look for you there if you maintain a low profile and avoid confrontations with the Grey Maidens. Once you contact Vencarlo, we can only hope what he's discovered will suggest a course of action we can take to save the city.
That's all she has to say if you guys are waiting.
The devil. It's a devil that gave her her power.
Sarah
Of course it
just
is. Why not?
Sarah just glares at Sin.
What the fuck did I ever do to you?
Sarah's just like, yeah, I know this wasn't you. I'm just playing.
I sent some out of the message. Cause why not?
Okay.
Just know what? Good work.
There's really nothing about Cressida's words or body language or delivery that would lead you to believe that she's lying.
Sarah just looks at Cressida and is like, look, I know that this is a lot, but deep breaths. We'll go talk to Vencarlo. Take care of the guard. They need a leader, and you play the good little soldier. Show the queen that you can be an ally, even if you just to save the skin of yourself and everybody else. We'll let you know what we find.
Cressida, just continuing to look dejected despite her best efforts. She simply says, "Okay."
Look, you're of no help to everybody if you are beheaded or worse.
Yeah,
Right
just look at that
now,
one guy.
the best way that you can help everybody is to make sure that you remain head of the guard. Protect yourself, protect your soldiers at whatever means, whatever means necessary.
She tries to respond, but she kind of just chokes on her words and instead just nods at you instead.
All right, Sarah pulls out her goddamn amulet. Start stringing. And oh god, where is it? I don't know. Performs gallant inspiration to give her courage. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if this actually does anything, but like.
I mean, look, I understand what the spirit of what you're trying to do.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, with your music, you notice that as you continue to play, Cressida, she's kind of like doing some thinking, and then you watch as she she adjusts her posture, she's sitting up straight. And by the time you're done playing, some confidence has returned. Of course, it's tempered by everything that's up against her, but she doesn't seem to be as despondent as she was when she began speaking.
So Sarah looks at her and goes, "Great, now go get laid."
Cressida just says, "Normally, I would laugh at that, but
Look, I'm trying.
somehow I think you're right."
Okay, I was kidding, but yeah, sure, go for it.
I mean, it's
You-
one way to de-stress.
Yes, it is. And this is our cue to leave. Come on, everybody. I think she needs a little bit of alone time. And Sarah just starts herding everybody out.
Remember, everyone, no temptation. Just move forward. Keep going.
All right,
All right,
so
where's Old Rosa?
yeah, you guys give Cressida a little space. Here, I'll show you on the big map. Let me drop you in some random place so you can see everything. So Old Corvosa.
Still on the other map.
Right, I'm sorry. I forgot to do this.
There we go.
On the map, Old Corvosa is just the island in the northern part of the city. You guys
mean T13?
like
So sorry, yeah, I'm processing the map.
the
that.
entire island up here.
Oh, that's an island.
Oh,
I didn't think that was an island, to be honest.
oh no, I see this an island. I just
No, that's
okay.
an island.
Oh yeah.
Silence.
Old
All of
Corvosa.
that.
All of Old
It's an
Corvosa, which we already went through. So we did do some cleanup work in Old Corvosa. Has there been any fruits from that labor from
Not so
the earlier
much
protection?
not so much cleanup work as having been there before to visit Vencarlo at his home.
Well, we killed a lot of monsters and stuff that was deterring the populace from being there, did we not?
Not recently. Like Cressa
No, I
said,
know in the past. That's what I was saying. I
oh,
was saying did it have any effect? Like, has some of the populace and maybe more of the fringe, the ones that are not near the queen, like, is this now more of a gathering spot for people who are disgruntled with the queen and want to be farther away from their control?
I
Like,
will say that it has had an effect, although not in the way that you might think.
okay,
Old
valid.
Corvosa in its quarantine state has kind of fallen into like a power vacuum. There are various gangs and crime syndicates and other ne'er do wells that have attempted to exert some
Take over.
power over the island. As far as you know, there is someone who seems like they've risen to power. You don't know their identity, but I would say that that's something that Vencarlo would have known to tell Cressida when she mentioned, like, oh, I've been getting communication from Vencarlo. She mentioned, like, oh, the queen is making a pact with the devil and there's some kind of foul magic afoot. But he also would have kept her up to date on what's going on in Old Corvosa, and yeah, he would have said that there's a group that has kind of moved in and taken power, but he doesn't know exactly who it is because he's
Reef,
in hiding himself.
Yeah. So Reef is going to take this grain of information when we're going to Old Corvosa and make the suggestion that we find and make connections with the person who's trying to gain power over there. Because any of the power being split away from the queen and being in the hands of anyone else is going to give us favor right now, even if it's someone we don't long term want to have it.
I mean, I used to live in Old Corvosa. I know that place like the back of my hand.
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I look straight at Sin and say, so let's go.
Hey, have
Let's
you
go
always
home.
had that mole on your hand?
What?
No, that's not a mole. I'm just black.
I think it's really funny. I didn't even realize that I made a completely white dragon while you made a black devil. And we've just been yin and yang this entire campaign.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's been kind of fitting. But yeah, no. Reef has this little plan formulating in his head, and he's just like looking at you guys and going, I think we should try and utilize the natural divisions of Corvosa and Old Corvosa to our favor. There are enough people that seem discontent with what the Queen is doing. If we can build up an operations in Old Corvosa, they have more than just a city to deal with. They have effectively a secession of an entire region.
Well, keep in mind that the plague has likely killed plenty of people in Old Corvosa, so there's probably a lot of houses that we can just move into.
That's my
As a group.
point. Like exactly, that's my point. Like the plague is ripped through. The populace that is still on the mainland is discontent with the queen. There are people that if we can convince and curry favor to will be happy to take over these old homes over here, get away from the watchful eye of the Grey Maidens. And I don't know, if we get enough strategic positioning and we get into good terms with the person who's coming into power in Old Corvosa, we could give a legitimate threat to the queen, even with whatever pact she's made.
True. And don't worry about the queen too much.
I'm not worried too much. I just she just got fucking shot in the head and didn't die. That's all. Nothing really to worry about there, right? No, never. That's natural.
Since
Totally,
since
definitely.
since smiles and shrugs, relax. She's not invincible. There's definitely something else going on. As a devil myself, trust me when I say that a devil would never make a like their human contractor stronger than they are. So she clearly she has a weakness, whether that it's a weapon like me or something else.
I have to say one thing. That just
What?
means you made a contract with a really fucking powerful devil. And uh
Grief,
uh
grief.
I
Do you know what an arc devil is?
yes, I'm well
Okay,
aware.
that's all I needed to know. No arc devil is immortal. None. Therefore, she can't be.
No, I know, but the immortal, it doesn't need to be immortal to be extremely hard to kill. This, I believe that we're having this conversation as we're walking and making our way to where we were going.
Probably.
Okay, cool. Just making sure we're all on the same page and I'm not assuming.
Anywho, relax. As I said, a really powerful devil probably wouldn't have that much interest in Corvosa, so it's likely a smaller one.
Or there's something here in the runes of Orko Vosa that is absolutely something of import to a strong devil, and using the tiny bickerings of humans as a mask for the chaos to find it would be a right up a devil's alley that has a lot of power and doesn't deal with the mortals. So, I Reef looks at everyone. Do I make my own pact? How do you find pacts? How do you find a devil to make a pact with? Do I ask the vampire? Should Reef is literally just spiraling as they're walking.
If you want to make a pact with something, it has to be incredibly powerful with magic to bestow upon you power.
I look up at Yaren and go, "Would you be mad if I made a pact? I wouldn't. Hmm.
Reef, I don't know much about gods or the devil, but the one thing I do know is that gods don't like it when you worship more than one.
How making a pact for power is absolutely not worship." And I look over and
Yes,
go,
it is.
"No. Also, Yaren's very much here for it. If I give false worship to another prophet to gain favor and power somewhere else, he knows where my devotions lie."
False worship? Yeah,
Yes.
that's not go that doesn't work.
That does work. If I actually am practicing under a trickster god and play dumb and act like I'm giving control to another being or power and respecting their authority over Yaren's, when in full well I'm using Yaren's mission of trickery to get the information I want, he's gonna be fine with it.
All right,
That's his MO. He's
all right, then
literally the god of rogues and thieves.
amuse me then, Reef. What would if some powerful creature decided, you know what, I accept your offer to make a pact. What would you offer it?
Queen Soul.
Yeah, no. It has to be something you own.
Who says I don't?
You know, you guys have a very toxic relationship, right?
Yes.
What do you mean? This is wholesome for devils. Don't worry about it.
But one of you is a dragon.
I
No, it's
am Wolverine-esque, and I wish I was a dragon. I wouldn't be dealing with any of this if I was an actual dragon. I just make people scared of 6 foot tall lizard man.
Reef, if you were an actual dragon, you'd be killed off by a bigger dragon.
Well,
Because you would think, oh, because I'm the king of the dragons, I can go over and do whatever I want. Hey, ancient red dragon, I own your hoard now.
ha! Reef is just looking at you and going, I know power scales. I am not king of the dragons. I am a runt of the dragons. I would go live in a hole. Humans definitely feel like I could be king over this.
Power. You understand power. Yeah, right. Anyway, Reef, you do not own the queen's soul. You may offer it when you actually get acquaintance of it, but the creature in question usually wants something now. So again, what would you offer it?
By service as a wyvern, like I do in the real world.
Alright, so you do things for it.
I'd be a
Just
mercenary for the devil if it gave me the ability to take away the queen. Maybe I want my soul.
yeah, it depends on the creature, but a devil would never accept just mere servantry. It would actually want to own you and your soul. So no, that wouldn't work. It's
Reef
usually a
writes
permanent
down into
contract.
his book, find out how to gain ownership of someone else's soul.
I'm pretty sure the only soul you can technically own that isn't yours is either. No, I'm pretty sure the only one is any future children you may or may not have.
Well, I mean, there's magic, and if I can bind her soul and rip it out of her body and hand it to the devil, what's stopping me? And
That's probably level 6 bare minimum. You do not have access to that.
well, I could one day, and you know what? I'll pray hard enough.
There's no reasoning with you. I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm going to not argue anymore. I am going to take the idea I have though, and run with it. And in Old Corvosa, if you allow me, I want to make a small shrine for Yaren and try to effectively start a temple of Yaren through the disgruntled underbelly of um, Corvosa, in hopes that I will find alliances there to help usurp the queen and whatever demonic pact she's been put into. So he's gonna put his Umdura status into good work, and whatever building we find over there after talking to Vorshali is where I'm gonna try to set up shop for an actual temple. And I'm gonna try to help bring life back to Old Corvosa now that the plague has been cleared out. And that part of the city was in derelict state in the first place. So you can see, okay, TLDR, let's start planning a civil war for Corvosa because, well, there can be two kings or a queen and a king, and I'll just be king of old Corvosa and it'll be fine. I won't have to fight a demon. She'll just take over regular Corvosa, and demons nothing to fuck with.
You do
Reef is
know that
just
it doesn't work that way, right?
Reef is just having an existential crisis and panicking, and everyone's just letting him talk. So as we're walking and until we get our destination, I'm just role playing.
Reef is actually trying to evolve into Pastor Reef.
Yes, Reef is actually trying to. He's seriously considering, like, okay, so violence doesn't work. I don't make a lot of hits. Maybe try another tactic. Let's try for luck and glory and trickery, because I tried glory all the time because that's one of the Yaren's domains, and that never works well for me. I usually get woken up from the deep sleep by someone else going, "Here's a Healy potion." Um, Luck is in my favor because I haven't died yet completely, and well, trickery, it seems like the best way to work against the queen, because outright fucking trying to shoot her in the head with an arrow failed tremendously, and that was my main go-to, which is just violence. Although maybe beheading would do something, but I have a feeling she'd just be a talking head then, and that's even creepier.
Listen, Reef, if you hit her hard enough, she probably dies. It's fine.
So I said, well, let's try both tactics. Both tactics is fine. And then I'm like looking around, seeing where we are, see if anything looks familiar.
Roll perception.
Perception.
I will
Of
use my
rage.
eyeballs.
Disgrace. Oh, do.
Okay. Let's see here.
Everyone went silent.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm just making sure I'm at the right point in my notes.
Do do. Eh,
Aroo,
be-do.
boodoo.
Be-do. Medicine. I've just been eating edibles all day. Do. Isopropyl alcohol, let's not put that near an open flame. Do I
Okay,
really not have any
so
lighters?
I'm gonna start with this this check by saying that the first thing that you all notice, I'm gonna move your tokens on the big map here to somewhere that will reflect this at least. Say about here. Yeah. So you guys know that connecting Old Corvosa to the main city proper are a bunch of wooden bridges. There is one bridge that's made out of stone. But the first thing you notice as you look across the cityscape here, all the wooden bridges are gone.
The one stone bridge is still there, though, right?
The one stone bridge is still there, yes. It is currently being patrolled by Grey Maidens. You will notice.
She thought of my plan.
You notice that the Grey Maidens are. What I mean to say is there are more of them on the old Corvosa side of the bridge than the main city side of the bridge. And the ones that are on the old Corvosa side of the bridge are currently standing at attention facing towards old Corvosa, so away from the bridge, away from where you're all standing. They got their backs turned to you. The ones that are not standing at attention are kind of just milling about on the bridge. Nobody stand, like right here, for example, is like where you would get onto the bridge. Nobody's standing here. It's kind of, just a couple along the sides and then, a greater number right here.
Reef is taking the lead.
Okay.
And is just that looking at them and going very clearly, I have business to attend to in the old Corvosa quarter. Is there a reason the bridge is closed?
The two Grey Maidens who are nearest to you kind of just look at each other and back at you, and they say, we have no intention of stopping you or anyone else who wishes to enter Old Corvosa. Just be forewarned that due to the quarantine, once you enter, you will not be allowed to come back to the city until the quarantine ends.
Reef looks at them and just says, "Ah, fair enough. I didn't realize that quarantine was still in effect. I thought it had been effective and they were allowing travel. My mistake." I give a slight bow and then I walk back to where everyone else is.
Yeah, and as you kind of as you start making your way back to the rest of your friends, it sort of dawns on you that the quarantine is not meant for any other purpose than keeping whatever is on the island that holds Old Corvosa over there. At least,
Sarah just looks at Reef and goes, they're over here. If all the wooden bridges are gone, that means that there's nobody at the other end. We could, in theory, just boat over or fly over.
Oh yeah, Reef looks at her and goes way ahead of you and looks for asks everyone to come with him to walk along the like edge to see what spot across the border is least patrolled. And on that point, Reef is going to make the suggestion that he ferries us over individually, and flies us over, in the cover of night or in a dark, shady area part of it, so we can possibly miss detection and not ever be aware that we were in the quarantine section in the first place, so we could just operate in the city when we come back like nothing happened.
Sarah's gonna suggest that we check that we're likely to find the best place near the other end.
Yes, I agree.
Tim, question.
yeah.
Do any of the sewers line Old Corvosa with New Corvosa?
Good question.
So if you're asking me for the purpose of wanting to traverse the sewers to get back to the city, I'll get back to you on that. But
Fair
I
enough.
I will say that I didn't realize Turkmen's already on the map. So I will say that based on the geography of the city, all of you could kind of, surmise that Reef being able to fly people in and out would likely be an effective means of traversing between the two places. Um, you think back remembering the Queen's speech regarding the Sable Company, and then you realize, well, if the city doesn't have any sort of flying resources, who's going to stop you from flying? Traversal by night is possible if you wanted to, cross the river in some way. You could also go all the way up around, like through like the Trail's End area where the Soldados used to live. Those are viable options. I would have to try and figure out if there would be a way for the sewer system to be connected with a river in between. I suppose it's possible.
Yeah, it depends on how deep the river actually is
Exactly.
and how deep
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sewer
yeah.
system is.
So
Or if at low tide, like the two pipes that pump out into the river are
true.
exposed.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, we'll probably go with that. Just because I didn't know off the top of my head.
Well, I just immediately thought of it. I was like,
But yeah, no, I
wait,
appreciate
there
it.
are places that have like the flats that go out for like a mile when the tide goes out. So technically, like if it lowers enough, you can see the covers that are normally.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I was gonna suggest something like that, but I wasn't sure how the tides work here, so I was just like, let's just do fly.
I like fly. I mean,
But yeah,
Because I have a feeling that they would also expect the tides, and they might increase.
Nah, they're not smart enough to do that.
let me put it like this: as long as you guys have some kind of plan, if you want to move between the two places, as long as it's like half decent, I'm willing to just hand wave it and say you guys are probably good without issue going back and forth. But I mean, obviously, if you didn't have
Appreciate it.
that,
I'll be right back.
then yeah, you'd have to
How
deal
about
with
digging?
the guards, or rather the Gray Maidens, wanting to keep
Not
everybody
it.
in, and not it. I like that. No, nose goes.
What if we dig?
Good idea. You should be the main digger. Just be sure not to chip a nail.
Or wait, do the Gray Maidens take vows of chastity?
Not that I'm aware of, but that's a good question.
It's probably not a vow, but they probably have to because they can't get any bitches anyway.
I mean, 'cause they're called the Gray Maidens, so I assume so. But like,
Nah, they're not maidens at all. They're 3 raccoons in a trench coat.
Sarah's like, I mean, we also, because they're not actually maidens, looks at everyone, cocks her head, and thinks.
Yeah, I don't see anything here about
Are
taking
you
a vow of celibacy or anything like that.
checking whether or not they've lost their virginity? Is that what's going on here?
No, Theo, she's trying to say that if some maidens are desperate enough, we can fuck them in exchange for letting us across.
I was
That's not
actually
the
more
vibe
meant.
I'm
They
picking up.
actually meant more of a distraction.
Okay, well, just no. No.
I like how you're the one who doesn't like that idea, Theo, considering your little personality.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought you'd be
I'm
all
not a
for that.
hoe.
I mean, clearly.
You try to make out with a person who was unconscious, so I disagree.
Yeah, like I just.
When the fuck did I do that?
Back in the
You
old
know-
abandoned mansion, you can't get out of this. I remember.
It's like
Why
Like,
did I
that's
do
a charm
remind
for
me?
them.
Did I do that? I don't remember that, and my memory hasn't been good since my car accident. So somebody please remind me whether I
Theo
actually
was
did
in a
that.
car accident.
No, out of character. No, I'm
No,
literally saying
teasing.
my memory hasn't been good. So
Sarah's just like, I don't know, like Cinderella, not back me up here. I mean, you think we could send Theo in to distract them?
I
I'm
don't
not
think Theo
even
can pull. I don't think
Muslim.
Theo could pull it off. Me and
I
Reeve tag taming, maybe.
Let's not try to boost my ego. I know it doesn't work that way. Plus, they're not elves.
It doesn't matter if they're elves or not. You're not actually gonna do anything with them. You're just gonna distract them.
It goes against my moral code.
You don't have a moral code.
That.
When it comes to romance, I do.
Who said anything about romance?
What? Isn't that what flirting is?
No.
Not necessarily.
You go in there, attract them, go into like a private area, fuck them, and you're good.
Or you distract them and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I guess best be on my way once we're all done," and then
Why are we putting this all on me? My charisma is really low, guys. Like, I have a 10 in charisma. Do we really want, like, out of character, do we really want to, like, put Theo in this situation?
oh, no,
knowing he
I'm
might
assuming this is
fail?
all happening in character. And meanwhile, Sarah's like, "Nah, I'm just trying to distract you until the sun goes down and Reef can fly
I
us
mean,
across."
with Theo being the pervert that he is, I thought he'd be at least half decent at it, but I guess
I'm
not.
back.
Seriously.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Yeah,
No,
Sarah-
No
also,
wonder he's a pervert. He gets no bitches for real.
also, I was just
agree.
bored. I was
One-
just bored while we wait for sundown, which should be any minute now. We spent a good long time arguing about this. Thanks for the entertainment, y'all.
You suck. Theo says, stomping his foot. Like a child.
I'm
Wait,
so
I heard the
glad.
stomp your foot fart, but what did he say?
So
I said,
I'm assuming.
I stomped my foot in. I said, you suck, and I stomped my foot like a child throwing a tantrum.
So I'm assuming we're now all
means I
like
win.
somewhere over here.
Where'd we go?
You went
Onwards at age 6.
you went west all the
Yeah.
way across the city and not across the bridge, or
No, because the plan is for Reef to fly us over away from where there will be prying eyes.
oh well, the guards already established they don't care if you just walk across the bridge and go
Oh.
into Old Corvosa. It's getting out that they would take issue with.
But my point is, I don't want them to see us walk over the bridge.
Okay.
I want them to just see us on the back here on this side of the bridge consistently and never really like. I don't want
Okay.
the guards
Agreed,
that are
because then
stationed on
if
the
they
Gotcha.
see us,
bridge.
Sorry.
because they see us cross and then they suddenly see us on the other side,
They're
they're
not
gonna
gonna
get
let us back.
suspicious, and that's gonna make things worse.
I had thought that one of the details got lost in the explanation. Sorry. Carry on. So
No.
Like,
So
we heard you, we understood that, and we were just like, but our best option is just to be sneaky.
All right.
Yeah, because I my thought here is there's gonna be gray maidens in here, but it's not like we have fucking telephones with photos. It's not like they're gonna snap a picture and send them to the guards on the bridge and be like, "Yo, these bitches are in this side." If we just go into that side and exist and walk around that side, the gray maidens that might be sporadically stationed throughout the thing aren't gonna care because we're just here as long as we don't go near the borders. We go near the border at night to fly back over and get back over and then show our faces on the mainland like we were never over there and continue to operate with impunity. That's the goal. Agreed? Reese says, looking around at everyone.
Sarah's like, yeah, that's why I thought we were here. Let's go.
Let's go.
Making sure before I start fearing you guys. It's
I called
gonna
dibs
be
on
a
getting
lot
flown
more.
over first. I called dibs on getting flown over first.
Okay. All right. Reef gives you guys a look and says, "Don't fucking laugh." And out of his bag, he pulls one of the ropes, the sections of ropes that he has left. He's fashioned something where it's literally like it ties around his shoulders and his waist, and there's two extra parts where it's like loops on them for where hands would go, and two loops where feet would go. And I go, "You're the backpack now," and I move my actual bag of holding to the front of me, and then I put this over my shoulders, and I have you hold on to that while also wrapping yourself around me. So like your hands and wrists and your feet are wrapped around the loop. So if you for some reason get knocked off of holding your arms around me, you're still there about like a half a foot dangling behind me and gives you a chance to like try to regrip without making me fall and making us plummet because of my wings.
Sarah cracks up at you're the backpack now.
I just want Sin laughs immediately after saying "Don't laugh."
That's
Yeah,
I figured that feels on point. That
As
feels
soon as
on
you
point.
say you're the backpack now, Sarah cracks up and goes, this is a great idea. That was just a funny way of expressing it."
You're the backpack because I motion at Nadia. Oh my god!
What?
Reef has a saddle now. That's crazy.
You like reset my brain with that stutter. Oh my god!
I reset my own brain with that stutter.
I think we
broke
your
Allie.
brain reset my brain. I'm like, holy shit!
Oh
I
no,
was
we broke
trying-
Allie. We have to put them into reboot.
I tried to say Nadia and Sarah, and my brain tried to say them both at the same time repeatedly, and I was just like, nothing's coming out. You guys are tiny enough and easy enough to scoop up and carry, but I feel like this might need more maneuverability. Like, what if we get caught and I might need my hands? So, well, turtle shell version of you and backpack tummy armor
I was like, oh
was born.
this makes perfect sense. This really does actually make sense. I just laughed at you are the backpack now.
The crying smiley face emojis, like with the like tears, but the happy smile. That's Reef right now.
Can Reef carry us all?
One
Not
at a
at the same
time.
time.
One at a time.
Oh,
That's
maybe you could do two at a
just-
time. It would be faster that way.
Just be careful. Just be careful, Nadia.
Carry.
Just be careful with carrying Nadia across.
How much can you carry?
Reef,
What's your
Reef is-
strength? It's like
Reef-
times like 10 or some shit like that, or like 20, I think. What is it, Tim? Where are you?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay.
Reef is
Well,
going to
how do
blood
you
rage.
convert strength score into? Oh wait, no, it just says how much you could carry.
Yeah, it's on
down
your
here.
sheet. Yeah, it's
Yes. Reef is blood raging.
on the tab with your inventory. At the
Lift
bottom.
off ground 400 is what I have. So what does your lift off ground say?
I'm working on it. I can lift 1,040 pounds off of ground.
Oh my god, you could carry almost all of us in one shot.
I can lift over my head for 520 pounds.
Well, I mean,
Okay, I just
that
want to say
that
I'm
number is
210 pounds. I don't know about if everyone else put in how much they weigh, but I'm 210.
Reef.
I'll write it down. Okay, so if everyone,
Reef's number. Okay, so currently, let me.
Wait, I just blood rage so I could do
Okay,
this.
sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
No,
I
I
didn't hear you
literally,
say
yeah,
that.
no,
So
I clarified. I was like, Reef is gonna blood rage
okay,
because he realizes this is gonna take effort and
gotcha. That's on me. I missed
strength.
it.
So no, it's all good. We were all talking. That's why I checked now. This is yes, but I figured Reef is gonna go Super Saiyan if he has to. Like, why not? It's gonna help him. What Kaioken, whatever way you want to look at it. Um,
Well, I guarantee you that
Sarah will
nobody.
not tell you her
Yeah, I was
weight.
gonna
She'll
say.
just stare at you.
Yeah, no one's gonna find out what Sarah weighs because that's rude.
I am going to carry 2 at a time if I can, because that would make things easier. And each of you are just going to give up 1 foot loop and 1 hand loop to another person. So then you only have 2 anchor points as opposed to all 4. But you still both can wrap around both sides of me. But I'm only going to take 2 at a time because I don't want, even if I
Well,
could like do a fucking ladder and have you all flying underneath me. The point is, we don't want to draw too much attention, and a large chain ladder beings flying through the air is absolutely going to bring attention. Me flying may or may not. I fly around the city all the time. People kind of expect it, so whatever. I could just be flying, and if you're tied to me like that, of high enough, people aren't going to really notice you're another being attached to me and getting a ride. So I look at Theo and I go, as always, though, good idea. I can definitely do 2 at a time, and that will definitely cut the time we need to do this in half. I
Me and
like,
Theo should go at the same time.
There is no way Sid is only 140 pounds.
I'm a
yeah,
slendy boy.
yeah,
no,
Slendy
I
Boy.
don't think you're
Also,
100.
I'm not very tall.
No, I absolutely gonna do that. I'm gonna take you both, and I'm gonna look at you and go, you guys are gonna have to find an area and secure it and make sure it stays clear of gray maidens, even if it means asking for assistance or pulling them away from the land point. But you guys are gonna be first.
Just Sin.
You and
What?
Sin, yeah, because you guys are the physical, like, pop pop.
Yeah, how tall is Sin?
Sin's 5'5".
Yeah, that 140 pounds by 5'5" makes sense.
You're overweight.
He's got no BMI
No?
is
Nah.
BMI is fucked. Second
Well,
of
I'm a
all,
devil. Keep that in mind. So
muscle.
my body works different from a human body.
Also,
Yes,
BMI is bullshit. Anyway,
that's why I
How
just
old
said
are
it's
you,
fucked.
though?
it
How old
doesn't
are you?
matter. Can we move on?
I'll tell you
You're
later.
overweight.
I mean, BMI.
It's muscle. It's muscle.
Sure. Sure.
B,
Okay. If it's
B,
muscle, then that's fine.
BMI is the only metric in existence that can call a healthy-looking person morbidly obese, and I'll just leave it at
Yes.
that.
Well, that
Yeah,
in the metric
apparently
system.
my
That in the
BMI
metric system.
is overweight, so I mean, like, it's probably right. I'm probably overweight.
Anyway, can we?
Yeah, let's continue. So, in whatever configuration or order you decide on, Reef.
I
what-
will say you should probably pick up people or like hang people that are equal weights or relatively equal weights on like opposite sides. That way you're not
I'm
teetering
raging.
while you fly.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
raging.
yeah, it
I'm
shouldn't
doing my
affect
best.
Reef too much given the amount that he can carry while raging, but it's
Alright.
a good idea nonetheless. So
Strategist to the save.
however you decide
Yeah,
to do
no.
it,
Yeah.
where
You
about
can't take no. Sin, you cannot take credit for my ideas. This is not how this works.
It's exactly how this works
You
as a
can
chief
be
strategist.
whoever you want to be, but you do not get credit for my ideas. That's not how this works.
It's exactly how being a chief works. I take all the credit.
No, that's not how being a chief works.
It's exactly how it works.
Did I take any of your credit?
Well, no, because I was always a chief of strategy.
Oh my god. I could just imagine me and Sin quarreling as Reef carries us over the fucking water.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Reef is like,
Also,
"Hero,
Reef.
Yeah, oh, I imagine this is happening as you guys are like, this is absolutely happening while you guys are literally getting yourselves set up in the fucking like rigging that I've made, and I'm just like, all right, everyone ready for takeoff? We're doing this, and I do my best. I asked for everyone to look in every direction possible, like each person looking and watching a different direction, um, to make sure the coast is clear. I'm gonna also look before taking off, and after we take off, then I'm going to ask that you guys, if you do bicker, to do it very quietly.
I will say Reef, and then whichever two people are going first, roll perception.
I think it's Reef and Reef,
Theo and Sin.
Theo and
Theo and
Sin.
Sin, there we
Okay,
go.
so the three of you roll perception, please.
Fuck.
Well, if it's in darkness, like if we're going at nighttime, I have dark vision because I have eyeballs.
Okay, wait, before we I'm gonna consult Sin
Oh.
because he said he lived in Norcolvosa, so I'm gonna ask him what he thinks is the best spot to be least likely to be seen. And that's where I'm gonna drop us.
I can actually assist with that.
Okay, cool.
Given that you have decided to move over to the west side of the city before taking off, I will say that once you're all in the air and making your way across the river, Theo spots and points out a building that should be relatively fresh in everyone's minds. As Theo spots Jatori's Toys, where you did some digging for clues related to the plague. That building is in this area.
Oh yeah, that's abandoned. Perfect base.
That is abandoned, yes. There's also kind of near where Tristan just pinged over here is I don't think this is an abandoned building at the moment, but the city's ironworks, like large sort of like smithy slash I mean, probably the closest thing resembling a factory almost would be that building there. Those are the two.
Theo doesn't like the dwarves, so I say we go to the toy factory.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the little toy store that's been abandoned probably would serve as a better base for you guys. And since there were questions about the time of day, I would say that it is approaching sunset.
Fair enough. Hey, Theo.
Which is actually the best time for us to do this, 'cause it's likely to be a glare as we're flying.
If you want,
so we're
now
less likely to be
that
spotted.
that we're this high up in the air, we can just double team Reef real quick.
Why would we do that? Do you want the crown that badly?
Oh no, not that way. A different way.
Oh God! Oh, you're disgusting.
It points my horns. Yeah, no shit.
Ah.
Well, if you don't want to do that, if you really want to, you can grab his wing, I can grab the other wing and just plummet.
No.
He's gonna completely ruin your day, Sin, so you better fucking stop.
Okay, who's gonna ruin my day?
We are not ruining anyone's days. I just want to land safely. I'm gonna literally start smacking both of you with my hands, my extra long arms, and smacking both of you upside the head.
And it's like, at least I use the self-restraint not to cause more damage.
I am literally smacking you both and going, this needs to stop. Look for gray maidens. Watch out for landing.
Theo started it.
I'm just,
you bitch.
I'm smacking you both again. Look for gray maidens.
Assuming I roll a 6, I don't see any gray maidens that aren't being stealthy.
You see nothing.
I don't know. While I'm getting slapped for doing absolutely nothing, what do I see?
Theo points out the toy store, like I said, and Sin is just fixated on that and is like, "Oh, a toy store."
I'm too busy on my jokes.
All
right. Well, I guess we should go to the toy store. If it's empty, it would be a good base.
Yeah, Theo, you don't spot any like immediately alarming sights. Seems like it's relatively clear in that area.
All right, good.
So
I
you
relate all
guys,
this information to Reef.
you guys arrive. Um, Reef puts you down. Any any words of encouragement there, Chief?
Yeah, Reef is just gonna look at both of them and go, "Please don't kill each other. I'll be back. Secure a perimeter and let me know if it's safe. If you
All right, we
can."
both search the perimeter.
I literally say, if it's not safe, put a wet the dirt path in a circle. Put a circle in the dirt path with water, and I'll see
Alright.
it from above, and I know to not land.
Okay. Do we have
Remember,
water?
Yes.
probably. Remember,
Okay.
Reef,
Reef
flat
literally
feet.
hands you a fucking vial of holy water, and so goes, if
Is there
not,
water for you to see, like from so high up?
you both
I was
have
thinking
holy
we could
water.
just do like flint and steel and just do like if we see you in the distance, just smack it on the flint and steel to make like a Morse code message with the light.
Oh yes, because the Grey Mains wouldn't notice a bonfire.
I'm just
I
saying, if you make
think
a giant puddle on the ground, or if you make a spot in the dirt, or some type of indication where you're not there, I'll know.
All
If you're
right.
there, I'll know either way.
Theo, stop
Okay.
making Reef angry.
Reef
I'm
just
not.
Reef looks at you both and goes, "Ah, I'll be back," and flies
Hey,
away.
Theo. Do you want to kill each other to spite Reef?
No, 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 no.
I say this
I
when you
don't.
take.
I'm still gonna panically say no.
All right, and that's where I'm gonna leave it off. Just like as like Reef flies away, says, "Hey Theo, you want to kill each other just to spite Reef?" And I gotta
No.
go.
Yeah,
Oh, you
honestly, I think with you heading out, and I know was it somebody Kim, was that you mentioned you might want to cut out early? Why don't we just leave it off here with Reef eventually retrieving the others and bringing you all over to Jatori's toys. Um, if you guys want to just give me like a one last round of perception checks
Yeah,
Okay.
to
absolutely.
secure the store, I guess. Make sure there's no funny
Absolutely.
business in your midst.
Oh damn.
Boom, baby.
nice.
I don't know shit, but I can try.
All right, yeah, pretty good overall. Um,
Where's Nadia? That's
Uh,
it. That's it. That's the important one. God damn it.
I don't know where I went. Ah. Where did it go?
All right, y'all. I gotta go. Good night.
all right.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
How is the toy store secure?
Um, yeah, I think between all of you as a group doing pretty well in the check. You guys take care to look out for any potential threats. Um, Not a lot happening in this part of Old Corvosa, thankfully. So you guys are able to secure the store without too much difficulty, and it will act as a good enough base of operations for however long you choose to use it as such. But yeah, we'll end there. Very interesting story developments tonight as we begin the third part of our adventure. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be back with more adventures within Old Corvosa as we
Oh,
continue to
wait.
what?
Is it's the 16th. Can't do in 2 weeks from now.
We can talk about it in the group chat.
Look at that later.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm glad you let me know. But yeah, we'll talk about that in the chat. So whether we are back here in 2 weeks or not, is for us to determine. But either
We
way,
may be back next week. Who knows?
I don't think we'll be back next week. But
We'll figure
whenever
it out either
whenever
way.
that is, we will see you all here for some more Pathfinder, and we hope you have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.